Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi, and today we're going to be reviewing this Barbie figure, which is may seem a little bit odd to some people who watch my channel, but it sort of fits in with all the stuff I collect. Now recently I did an unboxing video with a gift that I was sent by Gary Anderson, and he'd very kindly sent me this, which is a vintage Palitoy Action Girl, but made to look like an Action Man Space Ranger. It really is a lovely figure. Do check out the video that I did of that. I'll put a link in the description and at the end of this video so you can give that a watch. And a few people contacted me after seeing that video and said, had I seen the Barbie that had been released back in 2019? And I have to say I hadn't, but it turns out that this is still a very easy figure to get, and I was able to go to my local Argos and I picked this up for £10, and really I think it was well worth £10 because already I think it looks great. Now this, as I say, is Astronaut Barbie, released in 2019, and this is from a range of Barbies called You Can Be Anything, and it's their sort of inspirational Barbie dolls that are aimed at making young girls sort of want to be different things in their job role. So on the back you can see some of the various different sort of jobs that they are suggesting. I think it's very hard to say. There's a footballer there, which is clearly a man, and then I think that is a tennis player, then nurse maybe, and I think that's a boxer and a singer and a doctor and a chef, all sorts of different things. But the one that grabbed my eye was this Space Barbie. Now they've done Space Barbies before over the years. I think they've done one, it says here back in 1965 they did their first Space Barbie, and some of those dolls are highly collectible. But this one at the moment is on sale for £10, so not the most collectible thing. Maybe it will be in future, but I just wanted to grab it because I like the look of it. So today we are going to open this up and take a look at the figure and see how it sort of compares to the vintage Palitoy Action Girl that I have here in the space outfit. And it may be that we can even use some of these pieces to sort of do customs on other figures at some point, because it comes with obviously quite a nice space helmet there. She's got some white gloves on, and she has some white boots that you can see at the bottom, although if we turn these over you can see that they are actually marked Barbie on the bottom, so that's a bit of a giveaway. But let's open this figure up and take a closer look at it. And here we have Astronaut Barbie out of the packet. The actual card itself is a little bit sort of uninspirational when you take the figure away. You've got a sort of pink rocket in the background. Now I know they have to sort of brand girls' toys pink to make them sell for some stupid reason, but I just think that is stupid. Just make it a rocket, and it's much more sort of universal. You're trying to inspire young girls to do things, and just by making things pink, I actually think that's a little bit on the demeaning side. Certainly if I was in charge of this, I would actually put some other colours on this and try and make it just a bit more universal. But that's obviously what Mattel do best. They know exactly what sells, and so they obviously think a pink rocket is going to make this figure sell. I just find that a little bit disappointing. Now the figure actually looks pretty good. It's really quite sort of reasonably well made. It doesn't have the most amazing amount of articulation. I thought that hand had been posed just to make it sort of look intriguing in the box, but it actually turns out that her arm is just in that position. You can't bend it at all. There's quite a lot of flexibility in the shoulder, so you can really rotate that around, but she's limited to waving at you or putting her arm down in a very sort of awkward position. The other arm again doesn't have any flex at the elbow. It's just a rigid plastic arm, so you can just sort of move it up and down. Again, a bit of flexibility in the elbow joint, so you can sort of move it around, but you're very limited in what you can do with these figures. Likewise on the legs, they move at the hip, and there's nothing you can do about the knees. The knees are, it's rock solid, there's no bend in there at all. So she is very limited in her posability, and that makes it quite awkward to get her to stand up. I can just about get her to stand there, but she does have a tendency to fall over. The outfit, it's actually not too bad. That's the bit that sort of grabbed me initially. It's a sort of printed on spacesuit, supposed to look a bit like the European Space Agency spacesuits, but I think they are blue, so they sort of made it a white colour, but with the similar sort of markings on it. Otherwise, it does look reasonably nice. The gloves are split down one seam at the back, so you can pull those off, and made of a rubber. That means that they possibly would work on some other figures. She's got a quite sort of widely spaced palm, so I think hopefully that might work on some other figures. The boots are pretty much the same. You can see there's a split down the back of them. They're made of seem to be a bit of a harder plastic. And with some force you can get them off the feet. Not sure if those are going to be so universal to allow you to do a bit of customizing on some other figures. They're pretty solid rubber, but I'm sure some dolls will have feet that are that size. We can then just push that boot back on. A little bit tough, but it does go back on. Then of course we've got the space helmet, which I actually quite like the look of. It reminds me a lot of a sort of 1960s sci-fi type style to it, with a clear dome on the front of it. If we turn it around, it does actually have a B for Barbie on the side, and it does say Barbie on the back. I'm sure you could actually get rid of that with a bit of careful sanding. Let's try and take this helmet off the figure. Just unclips at both sides, so you've got a front and a back. And then inside we have Barbie. It's got a very short little sort of bobbed haircut there. I'm not sure what they've sprayed that with, because the hair almost feels like it's glued together. I'm not going to do too much to that because I'm sure you'll lose the shape of it, but they've obviously sprayed some sort of I don't know, yeah, some sort of setting agent or hairspray onto it to hold it all in place. I do actually want to take the outfit off this because I'm intrigued to see just how the figure is made. So let's do that, and yeah, we'll see what the figure looks like underneath. But really, it's got very limited articulation, so you can't do a great deal of posing with this Barbie. Although she does look pretty good with the outfit on and in place. The outfit is held together just with some Velcro at the back. There's no sort of press studs or anything, so we just undo the Velcro. And then we can remove this just to see what sort of construction they've used. I think I did this on my recent reviews of some of the sort of more modern Action Man toys, which were, again, they suffered with limited articulation and sort of construction. I think all of these toys are done fairly cheaply, which is why you can get them for £10 each. But yeah, this one you can see, oh, actually there's quite a lot more movement in the legs. It does have a bit more of a ball joint there, but really it's still fairly limited. And then as you can see, there is no knee joint, it's just solid plastic. Likewise with the arms, they are slightly more rubbery plastic, but there's not a lot you can do with that. Again, got a fair amount of movement available in the shoulder joint, but because you're limited to the posing of the arm, that sort of limits what you can do with this figure. And I see she's also got some sort of printed on pants there with Barbie written on them. On the back this says 2015, so this is obviously a standard doll that they have used over and over again, which is pretty common. Let's get this figure dressed again. So here you go, back all with the outfit back on. I have to say, for £10 it's not a bad figure. It would be nice if there was a bit more articulation to it, but I think the overall sort of feel and sort of look of the figure, I do like the outfit. I like the sort of the 1960s look of the helmet. It's not bad really, but the one that Gary Anderson made here that looks like the old Action Man using the Palitoy Action Girl doll is just way better. That is still my favourite space girl that I have in my collection. This one's not bad. I think I may end up doing some customizations with it. I think we could certainly make a better outfit for it and do some sort of modifications to it. But it's a good starting point. And if you're into collecting things like this, for £10, certainly worth going out and getting. I'm not sure any of the other outfits are sort of useful for the sort of things that I do, but I'm certainly going to pay more attention to what they are producing for Barbie. For £10, I think this was a pretty good value thing to buy, and the elements that are useful, the boots and the gloves and the helmet, probably make that worthwhile. So I hope my review of this has been interesting to you. It's certainly not the normal thing that I tend to review on toy-polloi, but it's been interesting for me. If you've enjoyed it, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. And thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos. You can also follow toy-polloi on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.